One of the things we are doing that's a little bit different today, and I hope that you will all join us, is that we will have a breakout session the last part of our time together to have some nice conversation together. And in doing so, we want to make sure that we assign our breakout rooms appropriately. So I'm going to make this announcement again right before breakouts, but I'm doing it now as well. We, as you know, have ASL interpretation and closed captioning. If you are somebody who needs those services specifically, please reach out to me. You can do it directly through chat, it's fine. We just want to make sure that if you need those services, that we get those assigned to your particular breakout room. So if you can let me know that, that would be really helpful. And again, I'll probably make this announcement again right before the breakout sessions, because I know sometimes folks enter a little bit late. All right, so first up, we have Sochi here, who's going to make an introduction for us. We've got a new member of the SNAP team. Sochi.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Wonderful. I'm going to first introduce myself. I'm Sochi Esparza. I am the Self-Sufficiency Programs Program Administrator or Program Administration Manager. Title is a bit of a mouthful. I believe this is the first time I attend this meeting. I'm only here briefly. I wanted again to introduce myself, and I also wanted to introduce Rashad Dent, who is here in the meeting and has recently joined our team as SNAP co-manager. And in that role, he will be, or is, he's already on staff. He's working alongside Heather Miles and is as part of one team within the SNAP and food benefits programs. So I'm really happy to introduce you to Rashad, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Rashad, to say a little bit about yourself. Not sure how much time we have, Misha, but thank you for letting us do this.
I know. I spoke with Misha. We're on a tight timeline, so I just want to.
You got a whole 5 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Sochi. And as you mentioned, my name is Rashad Dent, the new SNAP program co-manager. Been in the role about a month and a half now, so still kind of getting my feet wet here, but really looking forward to diving into this work some more. I spent the last 8 years with ODHS. I've been in all the positions that you can think of, probably front desk reception, eligibility worker, family coach. I've been an eligibility lead, a manager, and now into this role. And so just bringing some of those previous or past experiences into this role, and really looking forward to building the relationships and connections with you all. And hopefully I can be half as good at this as Heather is, and step in and be an addition to the team. So really looking forward to connecting with everyone, and thank you.
Thanks, Rashad. Welcome to our meeting. Before we move on, did anybody have any specific questions for Rashad that you wanted to ask? All right. Well, we'll go ahead and move on then to our SNAP updates. We're starting with Antonio, who's going to be talking to us about our able-bodied adults without dependents and replacement benefit updates.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. This is Antonio Aras with the SNAP policy team. I use he, him, el pronouns. And welcome to Rashad. We are very excited to have him, and we definitely appreciate the support that he's going to be able to provide us. So I'm going to go through a couple of things that are changing because of the public health emergency unwinding. A few of them are reminders, things that we have already talked about in the past. And so I just want to make sure that we continue to share the information so that anyone that may have missed it or wants to find out more about what the status is at this time can get updated through this meeting. So if I can go to the first slide, let's start with the changes with able-bodied adults without dependents. So as a reminder, Oregon is going to start re-implementation of the time limits in July. So this upcoming month is going to be the first month that individuals 18 through 49 without minor children in the SNAP case are going to be asked to do work requirements if they want to receive benefits for longer than 3 months. And so the listed counties are the ones where if someone who meets this current criteria, if they reside in any one of those counties, they would be the individuals impacted by this change in policy. So we sent a notice back in April about this upcoming change. We're sending another notice. And again, asking individuals to connect with us, let us know. We want to screen people for exemptions that may make them not required to have to meet the work requirements. If they are doing work activities, we want to know about those activities so that we can provide credit for those activities. And then in these counties, we are connecting with Oregon Employment Department to offer ABAWD program services to individuals who need assistance in helping them complete the work requirements. A couple of key things about the notices is that they are being sent to everyone who meets the definition and is in their preferred language. Here's the contact information for the ABAWD team that they are being provided, phone number and email that they can use to connect with us. And for more information about what the ABAWD program is and what are the requirements, what are the exemptions, the link at the bottom can be used to find out more information. Next slide, please. So everyone's probably aware that the Fiscal Responsibility Act is impacting a couple of the programs in self-sufficiency. So the SNAP program and Oregon Department, the SNAP program and the TANF program. I'm going to talk specifically about the SNAP program. The changes are specifically targeting the ABAWD program. And so to summarize what those changes are is that it will gradually increase the age range of SNAP recipients who are categorized with an ABAWD status. And so it will increase to include 50-year-olds the first time, and then to include 51 and 52-year-olds. These two are pretty much overlapping, so we might as well say that 51 to 52-year-olds will be included right away. We're still waiting on guidance as to how we're expected to make these changes to the SNAP program. So therefore, just to be clear, the July implementation is based on the old criteria, old exemptions. Once we have final clarification as to how we are supposed to implement these changes, we'll be sharing more information. And so that includes what the new exemption reasons are. There's definitions that we are waiting to hear from our federal partners. And so again, more information to come. Next slide, please. Another change that is happening because of the public health unwinding is the phasing out of the 2 temporary student exemptions. Can you, I think this is an active slide. Do you mind clicking on it again? It should be providing additional information. Thank you. So for new SNAP, and you can go ahead and just put, there's 2 more. Thank you so much. I forgot that it had this feature. So for new applications, we stopped using the new the 2 temporary exemptions back in June 10th. So any new applications received after June 11th or June 11th and moving forward are not using the 2 temporary exemptions. For renewals, we have until the end of this month to utilize those exemptions. And then if any student of higher education was approved based on those 2 exemptions, they'll be able to use those exemption reasons through the end of their certification period. Next slide, please. Finally, the last topic I was asked to discuss is the plan for replacement benefits. So again, back when this problem started, we were not allowed to make SNAP replacement of benefits lost, or not lost, but stolen due to electronic theft. So scamming, skimming, or text, emails, anything that was related to fraudulent activities where people were being deceived and getting their information fraudulently to use their benefits. So we're asking anyone who is a victim of this kind of theft to contact their local office, call the number, email, get in touch with us and let us know that this has occurred to them within 30 days of finding out. So whenever they find out that this has happened, that's where it starts the 30-day clock. Next slide, please. Last time I talked about this topic, I mentioned the 2 timeframes. So individuals had until June 21st to report any theft that had occurred between October 1, 2022 through May 22, 2023. So now we're anytime someone reports any theft they need, it has to be within 30 days. So we're on the 2nd time frame now. We're also we want to make sure that when we talk to people, if we know that this has happened to them, to advise them to immediately cancel their EBT card and get a new PIN, as this will help avoid additional thefts. Next slide, please. And this is the information to share so that individuals who have been victimized can report and cancel their EBT card. I'm sorry, to request a new card based on business hours or when they are doing this. And next slide, please. And if you want to pull out your phones, you can do a QR, get this QR code to get additional information. So I'm going to pause here briefly to see if there were any questions, or do we have time for questions? I'm not sure.
You do. We're doing great. So
okay.
If anybody has questions, I know Antonio went through all the information, lots of information pretty quickly. So feel free to ask.
And also, to give you time to pull out your phones and scan this QR code for more information. Thank you.
All right, I don't see any. Oh, Beth has a question. Go for it, Beth.
Misha, and thanks for the presentation. And I'm so pleased that that Oregon DHS got the SNAP replacement benefits going. I just wanted to report. I need to put this in writing and give an email to you, Antonio, and to Heather Miles and other folks. But our clients, at least one of our clients, has had not a great experience using this system. Like the number on the flyer, the 1-800 number on the flyer, the person who answered when my client called to ask for replacement benefits didn't know about the program and was giving her incorrect information about what she should be doing. And the local DHS office didn't seem to know either. So I'm just wondering how much training is happening or information the staff who are responsible for making sure this is happening, right? Eventually, my client did get her replacement benefits, and again, I'm really grateful that this is happening. But I just thought I'd flag that, and I don't know if anybody else on this call has had folks have a little problem with the system.
So we definitely want to hear about these experiences. So if there's additional information that can be shared about, not just about this specific scenario, but any other scenarios where people are trying to go through this process, like any new process, I know we're going to experience glitches, but that doesn't mean that we have to allow them to keep on happening. So we want to get better. And if there's additional guidance or better guidance that we can provide to our staff to make this change, please let us know. And we'll work on getting this process more streamlined. So I appreciate you letting us know that there's glitches in how we're currently providing services.
Sure, maybe I'll just make the request for a memo to go out to anybody who's answering that 1-800 number, so they know what's going on and what people are supposed to do. Also, I'll say the client also was being directed. She had already reported the fraud because this was something that had happened before the SNAP replacement program was in place, but she was directed to make another report to the fraud unit. And then at the fraud unit, it's really like, I don't think there doesn't seem to be a great way to talk to a human being. It's mostly they were encouraging you to do it online. And this person could work around that, but we do have clients that really need to talk to somebody on the phone, whether it's a language barrier or a computer barrier or a visual impairment or anything like that. So I would also really encourage maybe just like some user testing or something to make sure that the process has options for people who need help and can't just do the fraud report on an online form.
Yeah, so we have the different ways of receiving the information as I put in the slide. So people can call us. I know that the process involves getting connecting individuals to an eligibility worker so that this gets received right away. So this is one of those documents where we're asking they be worked because of the time frame that we have to meet. And so I'm wondering where we're not making the connection appropriately. So yeah, if you could send us an email and let us know more details so that we can look at how we are going through. And I'm also going to go back and look at the guidance that we are providing staff, because I know that this is one of those things that we're requesting to be looked at right away. In regards to eligibility, I do want to remind that there are certain criteria that needs to be met. So of course, it has to be electronic theft. And there's guidance in regards or limits in regards to how much can be replaced. So I know that's also another thing that could be an issue. And I took that specific information off of the slides just because of the time constraints. But we can only replace either the lesser of the two amounts, either the past 2 months of benefits or the actual stolen amount. So whichever is least is the guidance or the rule that we have to follow. And then we're only limited to 2 replacement per federal fiscal year. So that's also another reason why someone may be denied. And if it's not electronic theft, then also that would be another reason why people might get denied. This is per household. So the benefits is based on the household. So I'm reading the question: is this per person or per household? And so it's per household.
So I'd just like to encourage any of our partners that are working with folks that are having experiences like this to definitely reach out to us. I would include both James and I on that email because if it's a storefront office or the BEC, we each can reach out and try to address those particular issues in case there's a specific training in a certain unit or area or messaging that needs to go out or be reminded in those specific areas. So that would be really helpful. James, did you have any other thoughts on that?
No, other than, if there's a specific office, we definitely want to know about it. We've heard about things in the past, and the local leadership is just horrified and wants to know all the details so they can correct it. With the statewide VEC, it might be a little trickier, but we could, if we have details, we can track it down and figure out what the gap is. But as Antonio said, we need to look at the training to make sure. I will say, as you guys understand, there's a lot of new stuff being thrown at eligibility workers, and it's a big ship. That's several thousand people who do this work, and so it's training the trainers and then training all the eligibility workers, and we hate to see this, but it's good for us to know about any of these problems so we can point to it as we convince people that, yeah, this is a real issue, but it's also something to be aware of.
Thanks, James. I think we do need to go ahead and move on to our next part of the meeting, but if there are additional feedback here, you're welcome to direct message through Zoom or email us, and we'll gladly hear that feedback and try to get those pieces addressed. So, Stephanie, are you here?
I am here. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Just a really quick update about Pandemic EBT. It's still happening, the program that continues to just keep on going. So benefits for summer 2022, so last summer, we have concluded with issuing those out to households. Those benefits ended on May 31st. Our call center is still open for families who may have questions about their benefits or to see if they happen to be eligible, or if they need to replace a new EBT card or see where their card is in the mail. That call center will remain open through the end of this month. And the phone number is here on the screen, and I'll put it in the chat for everyone as well. Oregon did apply to issue PEBT for school year 2022-2023, and we were recently approved by FNS. So we are working right now to get that all set up. We are anticipating we will issue benefits for that program period in late July or early August. The demographic that's eligible for that benefit is only children under the age of 6 who were part of a SNAP case. So that's for school year 22. It's just that small group of kids, the SNAP kids. And then for summer 2023, so coming up to date, we did submit a state plan to FNS. It's still under review, so we haven't yet received an approval or any feedback from them. We're hoping to get feedback soon. And if we're approved, those benefits would be issued in late August of 2023. So just a couple months out. That demographic of kiddos is a little bit different for summer 23. That program only provides benefits to students who were enrolled in a national school lunch program participating school, and who either attended a community eligible school where all the kids at the school receive free lunch because of the number of children that are eligible for it, or the child themselves was specifically approved for free lunch at school. The summer 23 plan does not include SNAP kids under 6. And the reason of that change is because the public health emergency ended at the end of, or kind of mid-May, and it removed that group of children from pandemic EBT. So that's what I have. Hopefully I'll be able to share another update in July that we were approved for summer 23. But until then, we will keep on moving forward with school year. Any questions? Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, Stephanie. All right. James, you are next on the agenda with a community partner assister role expansion update. It's a mouthful.
Indeed. Yeah, so, boy, yeah, I think I have a couple slides, that's right. But I want to be really brief. Happy to answer questions. I think you guys know the status quo, at least on the ODHS side. You may or may not be aware that the state has hundreds of organizations, the vast majority of them volunteer to assist people with their OHP. So they have to undergo trainings. I actually attended a training. It was 7 hours, 6 hours long, yeah, and to help. So it allows an assister to help someone applying for OHP. It's very impressive. It's a long application, as you guys well know. And unfortunately, these assisters can't help people with SNAP and other SSP programs. So if we look at the next slide, if I remember correctly. Yes, so there are, we have a pilot that's in development that we hope gets going at some point. And the idea is, let's take the handful, the 20-some, I forget, maybe it's 30 organizations that are contracted through OHA to help people with their organ health plan applications, and also give the option to some of our SNAP contract partners. And basically, they'll have the option to help continue, just help with OHP, just help with SNAP and TANF and ERDC, or they can help with all of them. So there's 3 parts to this process. We have to make the necessary changes in one. That's shockingly, that's been done. All we have to do is flip the switch to turn this system on. And because, and I should add a little context, an OHP assister has some sort of access into the one system where they can, they open their own account to help someone fill out their form. And that allows them to, that allows the assister to help the applicant track where they are. If they come back in, that person is still associated with their account and they can see where they are in the process, which makes it really nice. So anyway, the changes are in one. We have to hire a contractor to create training materials for all the participating organizations. And unfortunately, we have to reopen it. And so we're still taking contractor applications. And one of the big ones that people on our SNAP policy team know full well is that we have to get approval from the feds, from Food and Nutrition Services. And we're in our second round of answering their questions right now. So I've checked where the answers are that, because we got to get our responses back to them. That's what's going on. It's really exciting, the idea that we can help people with their SNAP applications and get this larger network of medical assisters to help people with the SNAP application. It seems like FNS is a little more finicky than our OHP federal oversight, the CMS. So anyway, Any questions about that?
James, did you say when this was
I
going
didn't.
to start?
See, I was laying the groundwork for a question. Thank you, Misha. And well, we don't know, when FNS will give approval. We don't know when, a contractor will be ready. But I'm sort of, our optimistic interpretation is the first few months in 2024, which sounds weird to say, because it'll take some time to get the materials together and get people trained up. But that's our hope. I know last year we were hoping about this time, but it's still moving forward. And we have to be careful how we describe it, because FNS doesn't like even the term assister. So we're helping people with their application, as several of you are doing right now, helping people with their paper applications, or helping someone who is getting to the one system on their own. Now you can help them a little more directly. Anyway, there's an update. If something occurs to you, feel free to email me as well.
Thanks, James. It's good that it's continuing to move forward. I know I'm really excited about this, so I think it'll be great. All right. So next we, let's see, James, would you mind answering that in chat?
Yeah, we're giving the option. I said about 8. Stephanie knows more about who are contractor partners at this point right now. Talk to a few, but I would love to scheme and make sure, because my old list, Stephanie, has about 10 or 12 people, but I know a couple of people have dropped off. There's Family Tree Relief Nursery, there's Clackamas Service Center, Goodwill of Lane County, Multnomah County, Oregon Food Bank, Outside In, Oregon State University, Partners for Hungry Food Oregon, United Community Action Network, 211, Central Latino Americano. That's my quick rundown of the possible groups. Of course, this will be an option. I don't have to do it. But that's where we're at right now. If you're interested and not part of that list, and I'm looking at also at Zoe with Community College Navigators, I'd like to see if we could get you in as well, but we've been mired on all this other stuff too. But Annie, Multnomah County should be one of them.
Alrighty, thanks. Multitasking here, trying to answer some texts. We're gonna move into our next session here. We're starting a little bit late. I don't know, I'm hoping we have some really wonderful conversations, and I'm not going to want to exit those conversations early if we're having really wonderful ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to do breakout sessions, and there will be an ODHS representative in each session. If you are that person, please plan to take some notes so that you can bring feedback back to us and leadership so that we can move forward with that feedback. So please do that. And I'm going to copy in our questions into chat here because I know you won't be able to see that slide. And I think that Susie, who's helping us go into breakout rooms, is also going to copy that into the breakout room so that you can see it. One last thing, I'm going to copy it in as a reminder from earlier. If you are using ASL interpretation or closed captioning, please reach out to me directly so we can make sure that that person is in your breakout session so that you can continue to receive those services. We are going to pause the recording during breakout so that we can have good conversation, and it's not going to record just one conversation over others. So we will do that. Any questions before we jump into our breakout session? All right, let's go ahead, Susie, and break us out. Thanks.